And non-binary pals, and welcome back to Alan Dresser. 3 weeks after the last session. Can you believe it? 3 whole weeks.
I don't know
My
how
God,
we
has it been a
survived
long
without
time.
D&D.
I honestly don't either. For those who have not been keeping up or have been away, basically I upgraded my PC and a bunch of shit broke and I had to rebuild the whole thing from scratch. I basically have a whole new computer, but I also lost all of my data. 4 terabytes gone. Years worth of work from university as well. So, rebuilding all of it from the ground up, including OBS and all of the things to stream with, meant time and effort and animation and spoons. And that's where we are now. It's all been rebuilt, and we are back in Alan Dresser, ready for some fantasy fun. We've got all new artwork, all new avatars, and all new maps, because all of the old maps got deleted as well. So, we don't have the old fight map. We don't have the characters from the last fight either, the NPCs. I've had to rebuild those from the ground up. I still have the artwork for them, thank God. And one of them did survive, thank God. But the other two took a lot of care and attention when I first made them, and I've got to sort of unpick my thinking to get that back. So what we're doing today is, we are not in the fight. We have fled the fight. The group survived just, but so did the enemy. And so they have routed, and so have the party. You have made your way into the woods where you have been camping out for the last few days. You have had your long rests. You are back up to normal. Yes, you have lost those effects of rage and of wild shape being used, but you are alive. And what's more, Victor is back. And with that, let's say, welcome back, Steve.
Huzzah!
But everybody we've got with us today is Mars, Tats, Katie, Shen, David, B, and Steve. We've got the whole crew, all 7, and me, your humble DM. I hope everybody's doing okay, if not good, today.
But you said if not.
If not
Good.
good. Yeah, if not, good. No, I hope that you are doing well. But we are, to recount the story, here's where we were. We are in Gorizont. If you want a shorthand for that, we're basically in the fantasy equivalent of North Korea. It's run by the fairy godmother. The rules are, not a single person can leave. If a single person does leave, then the magical artifacts that are everywhere in this part of the continent, these purplish pink jewel crystals in the ground, which you can see all around you in the woods here and there, all of those things, these will drag the whole country down to hell, and everybody with it. There are people that you have found dead and rotting. There are people who have been encouraging you to come towards a particular event. There was a militia that marched on a tower that you didn't get as far as to see, but they did see you as you tried to hide from them, thanks to 3 consecutive nat 1s on a group stealth check. That's definitely going to make your group stealth check shit. So they did look around at you, because we have to honor a nat 1, nevertheless 3. And that was where you decided to head north, get yourself into a farmhouse to sleep out for the night, but you didn't move anywhere, you didn't conceal anything, and there were dead creatures in there. So of course the enemy knew to look for you there. Didn't take long, you hadn't moved far, and a fight ensued. You don't know what they wanted, you don't know who sent them, you only know that they were elite because you were having such a hard time fighting them. They seemed like they were very, very capable killers. Their names, again, were Mako, who was a turtle, who used a pike and could stop you in your tracks if you approached him. There was Urva. Urva was the dragonborn, the dragonkin, who had some curiously familiar iridescent scales on her chest plate as like dragon scale armor. Ash picked up on that and remembered the blue dragon that had flown you all here. Victor, you weren't there for that session, but basically, Steve, you went all the way across to a port town, raced there, and a helpful adult blue dragon, helped fly you all to the coastline of Gorizont so that you could all get there, but would not go there themselves, and was missing some scales from underneath one of their wings, where someone had ripped them out before in a past of marred with abuse, we should say. And so Ash has picked up on that and has spotted that on Urva quite rightly. Urva is a prick, and is wearing the scales of your friend that you have only just recently become acquainted with. However, tried to mend some bridges there by giving the dragon a gem that you found that looked particularly like a scale, and they were, quick to point out this is not normally in the dragon custom. We have a storied custom that we stick to, and although this is necessarily not that, I still appreciate the effort. Thank you very much for the gesture. And of course, the final one was Tsonkenu. Tsonkenu was a druid who was a furbolg who looked almost zombified in their appearance. They had green skin and their mouth was stitched closed, but had loosened up so that the stitches were loose enough to speak. However, that was by the by, because we have now come to this part of the tale. Victor, you've been here for a couple of days, so all of that exposition has been, we can just say that you've had the time to catch up with all of that in character. Okay. You have also brought with you Maggie, who was our favourite untrained rogue. And the reason that you had not gone was because the dragon only had so much capacity, like wing capacity, to carry so many people. And because, well, we needed a reason for you to be away from the table for so many weeks, to be frank. But in that time, in character, we decided that Victor had been trying to train Maggie to be a slightly better rogue. And I have an idea for what that might have been, but I want to see your take on it as well, to see if you had a better idea for what you think might be useful for Maggie to learn.
Oh no, I'm happy for you to run with whatever you think, to be honest. If you have something in mind.
So the idea that I had was that, well, Maggie is a Kenku, and Kenku are particularly good at mimicking people's voices when they've heard them. And so it could be quite useful for a rogue who's hiding in the shadows somewhere to mimic the voice of a god that the other person knows, so that they could, just listen to someone talk for a bit, then mimic their speech back to the other guard so they can distract them and pull them away from their post. That's all it takes. Is
so
just an
more like
the
like the deception side of
So I think
roguing about.
Yeah, I think that you being an investigator, you wouldn't necessarily, be particularly well schooled in how to mimic people's voices yourself, but knowing that Kenkus are adept at that and that that's how they communicate in general, that Maggie would find it much easier to gather that in the few days that you've got. And in your experience, Maggie has been doing well. You've all obviously had time to have long rests, and so everything that normally comes in those long rests comes for you guys as well. You've had, a few days worth of it, so we can just clear off the tally and say that Aldrin, Ferdinand Frog, is now your familiar. He's I've drawn him into your character artwork. You have the little blue Froggo with the top hat, which you can just about see there on the token, but yeah, you are there. And of course, we've got David here, who is playing Odin.
Yes, sir.
Found and met Odin when they were trying to return the feathered cloak that Ruby had been given by Rumpelstiltskin to Hugin and Munin, Odin's ravens, as it was made of their feathers, and they were aware of its usage every time it got used, and became increasingly frustrated and angry about that. And so, as an appeasement, you guys spoke through Rumpel to get a message via the demigod Ratatosk, the messenger god of the Norse gods, to Hugin and Munin so that they would know that you wanted to return it. And that's what drew you here, that's what led you to Odin, and that is where we are now. Odin is a companion in your party temporarily, but has agreed to help you out fighting Ox so that you can undo whatever has been causing the earthquakes, whatever has been the ramifications of so-called Ragnarok, whether that's even happening or not, you're not sure, but something has been making the ground shake. Something has been making winter spread. Although we established last time that winter was spreading even before the events of that fateful fight. So, now that we've got all of that down, now that I've recounted the full story to you all, now that nobody needs to research, go back through their mind palaces to figure out what the fuck is happening now, crack on. Is there anything that you guys is top of your list, top of your agenda? Do you have plans that you need to talk between each other? Do you have places that you want to go and explore? Do you have a retributive plan to go and fight the 3 that you got away from? What do you want to do? Talk in character, I guess.
Okay.
I don't believe so. For me, anyway.
Okay, so Rumpelstiltskin is still alive.
Last
I
you
hear
saw,
the
yeah.
disappointment there.
Okay.
You really fucking hate me, don't you?
He's
Sorry,
alive
Victor,
and
no-
well somewhere.
No, we'll work on it later, Victor.
Yes, I
More
don't think that's a
things.
priority. Yes. Did you have a next port of call? Do you have any leads?
Maybe trying to figure out how to get out of Gorzont without getting everybody killed.
Okay, so people coming here as visitors can't leave.
I don't think so.
Nobody
Yes,
can
that
leave.
might be a problem. Perhaps we need to speak with the fairy godmother. Did you meet her already?
Just come
No.
across a load of weird people.
Reminder also that Aurelie is still here, so you also have that person to be able to talk to as well.
Yes.
And also, Odin has been here for a while, so Odin knows Gorizont more than anyone here.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so we absolutely can't leave.
Would not recommend, no.
Well, what is it that's stopping us from leaving? Is it the artifacts? Is it the followers? Or is it the fairy godmother
All
herself?
getting-
What part of it is controlling that? That much we haven't established.
Yeah.
Are we able to seek an audience with the fairy godmother to see if we can find out, or is she
I don't think we found anybody to really ask that.
Well,
Except for the guys who, we
Yes.
were in a fight with.
well,
is everybody this hostile?
well, we did meet some friendly people, but then soon after that, we got chased out and we had to fight. So I don't know whether that was just a thin veneer of friendliness, or if they were genuinely good people and were just sort of caught there.
They seemed caught in the middle, but who knows?
Can we go back? Is it safe to go back there?
I don't know whether I would recommend it. Here's the thing, right? If we've been chased out of town, we've caused such a big fight that they got routed away from us, just as we got routed from them, they're gonna remember us. And I don't know about you, but in my experience, people who act like that in a fight, they don't let their pride stay hurt for long. Normally, I would leave town. Sometimes, staying in the shadows is so much easier and safer. But there are only so many shadows on a small island like this, and
So where would you
we
think
can't
to go?
leave.
I
Well,
have a little suggestion. They know our
Mhm.
faces, but there's a couple of people here that they don't.
That is true.
And a certain investigator might be able to scrounge up what we can't at the moment.
I can go and talk to them and see if they can point us in the direction of the ruler of this land. Certainly, I would hope they won't attack me without provocation.
We can only hope.
Yeah. That would be
Odin,
a good
what is your
start.
experience of being here been? You're clearly allowed some grace to stay here without having to follow all of the rules. Have you ever met the fairy godmother? You know what she looks like? Or if she even exists?
I will do a history check for Odin.
Go for it.
Let me just do.
You have heard of her, just as everybody else has. You've never had an audience with her, you've never seen her directly.
So I have been here for a long time, but I have never met the fairy godmother. Not any more than rumors and whispers of her existence, but she has
Did
been
you
a
try?
long. No, and I'm not quite sure why. But meeting you all has given me some insight into myself, and I believe it is time we try and figure out what's keeping us all here.
I agree.
Yeah, because we gotta go.
We can't fight Ox if we're stuck on an island forever.
Yeah.
But we can't leave without dragging it to hell.
Well, I'd rather not go to hell. I'd rather not send them to hell.
You know what I want to know? What happens in terms of the ground? Is it that the ground just disappears and that we end up in hell? Do the crystals teleport us there? Does it affect the air above it?
Will it affect the buildings?
If we could get
Or
people
just
to
the people?
fly, like Ash, you can
Above
fly.
the ground. Yes.
If we could get someone to fly, we could test it maybe. Like activate one
trying
of the
to-
crystals from a distance and see if it drags them down, or just a test dummy, like make something that can float. Could we levitate an object above the ground?
I can levitate things.
The thing is that they'd probably know, right? They'd probably be keeping an eye on those things. So if we did, we'd have to either be really well hidden or do it remotely. And I don't know which of those is most feasible. Because they could teleport here immediately. We don't know what they're capable of.
Yeah.
Do you know what else makes me uneasy? The fact that they have crystals here and not gods. Where are all the gods? I'm so used to seeing gods around.
Maybe nobody
But-
comes here because they don't want to get stuck.
Sort of
True.
Stick Fella seemed like a pretty good guard.
Here's another thing. I don't know if Ash and Isabel have noticed anything, but you two are the first really that I thought about when I noticed this the other day. Do you ever notice that there's no bird song? There's no rodents scurrying around in the undergrowth. There's no foxes. There's no birds in the sky. There's nothing. There's no animals.
Are you trying to say that we're evil? And we already got drugged to hell?
No,
Don't forget
I
they
don't
were
know
very.
about that.
They were very surprised about seeing a cat when I was a cat.
Yeah. I just don't. That was the thing that really made me think. The last few days. I mean, when haven't you, sleeping in the forest, Victor, when haven't you felt the scurry of a rat over your ankles occasionally? It's pretty
Yes.
normal, right? Like, we haven't had any of that.
Yes, perhaps this is a prison, maybe
I don't
of
know.
some sorts. Maybe the fairy
And
godmother
who?
puts people here that she wants to keep here.
So are you saying that that's the warden?
I'm not sure.
Here's the thing, though. The warden isn't ultimately the one in charge. There's always someone above the warden. So who would be pulling the strings if the fairy godmother is the warden? And does the fairy godmother even exist if no one's seen her? Maybe people have seen her, but we've never spoken to. I think that we need to. This is just my 2 pence to silver. I think that we need to leave this area at least, and see what we can find from like the outskirts of some places. Because there's got to be some place, right? Even in prisons, there's always like a rebellious group that makes their own little trysts in the shadows. You don't
Maybe
go
they're the
anywhere
ones
without someone trying to
you
rebel.
pissed off. Yes.
Well, that's the thing as well. We don't know why they were coming for us. They said that they wanted to kill us, but then they knocked Ruby out and didn't kill Ruby. They had the opportunity to kill Ruby. Ruby was on the ground in front of them. They didn't kill Ruby.
They could have done a lot worse.
They could have. They spoke
It
a
was
big.
a warning.
They made a big racket about it and said big words. We're gonna kill you. We're gonna take you down and all that. But then when it came time to actually have their opportunity, they knocked you out.
They didn't take the shot.
Which makes me wonder, why? I don't get it.
Do you think that counts as leaving?
I'm not sure.
Because there's been other dead people, though.
Yes.
But how'd
Perhaps.
they die?
I'm not sure. I mean, we
Can't
could
remember.
check. Are there any bodies close by that you know of? We could go and have a look.
The ones
No,
we
it's,
got
I
rid
know
of.
I know it's a little gruesome, but we could see if they were killed or if they just passed. Is it worth talking to the people that tried to kill you? Is that a stupid idea? I didn't meet them personally. I don't know how reasonable they are.
Aurelie goes over to just start like sharpening blades again, and leaves you guys to discuss.
Okay. So where's the nearest town? Odin, would you know where the nearest town is? Or the nearest group of people where they
Thank
camp?
you, Lucy. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
What's my daughter doing in your chat?
Your daughter has just been very kind.
Well, as Odin, I will have to do another history check, I believe, to see if I know any locations nearby. See.
You do remember that there is the city, the main city. So where you were last time is sort of it was Summergate is like the eastern part of the island of Gorizont. That's not what you might call the capital city. That's a city, but it's more of a settlement that's just grown large. This place to the southwest of you, that's Shimmerstrand. That is the capital. That's where, if you're going to find any kind of centralized, power or government or governance or guarding, then that's probably where you're going to find it. There might be settlements in between as well. You have seen small settlements, but with a 17, you can't remember exactly where they are, but you know that they exist. You know that there are smaller, villages or hamlets kind of thing. They don't mark them on the map because they, much like, North Korea, they don't really want to acknowledge their existence. They would much rather people go about thinking that there's only 2 cities, and that's all you need to know about, just the 2 cities. But these settlements do exist, and you've witnessed them.
Yeah.
This
Right,
might
so-
be. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
This might be me overthinking, but if there's like a magical thing that keeps us here once we get on, does that mean even death is not an escape? Does our
I mean,
souls pass on from here?
I feel like that depends on whether it's our physical body or our spiritual body that is attached.
yes, I
and
think
trapped.
whatever spell is stopping that from happening is the wording of that would be
Also, yeah, thank you so much, Lucy.
the important part.
I've
of it.
now
I assume-
remembered that I
think
need
that's how
to
spells work.
add my
I'm not
pedal so that
really
my
an
pedal
expert.
actually mutes to Discord when I'm talking.
Uh,
But yeah,
uh,
Wording
uh,
important
I'm very proud of them.
sometimes.
Mm.
Most.
and
Might
again,
just be
thank you so much
overthinking,
for the
that's
song.
all.
It's a good thought.
No,
But
yes.
as to your question, I do remember there's the capital southwest of here. We could head there and maybe even find answers as to where the fairy godmother is. There are
mean,
also smaller settlements, but I don't think they are of that much of importance. I don't feel like the power that governs here cares about those settlements.
Isn't that
Okay.
a reason to go there? If they don't care about those settlements, then doesn't that mean that they won't be watching them?
Yes, but also a leader or a warden would naturally be stationed in a capital city, right?
Easier place to hide in a little settlement.
I mean, there would hopefully be one on the way if we head towards the city, and if we don't come
Mhm.
across one, then at least we have the destination.
We,
Mhm.
I agree. I do agree, and I do think that we need to make our way to Shimmerstrand as well.
Mhm.
I kind of also think that it might be useful to find maybe like-minded people that we could ask about the place. There's got to
Yes.
be somebody that's friendly, right?
Mhm.
Hopefully, we'll come across some in our travels.
On our travels, Maggie says.
I know you do, Maggie. I know. Then should we head? What direction is it?
Southwest.
It would be
Southwest.
southwest.
Um,
Yeah, it would be southwest.
Then let's head southwest. Maybe stay off the roads a little, but keep them on our shoulder.
Mhm.
Okay. Give me a survival check.
Who's good at that? Who's going to be leading? Ash, you know
I-
the what's
I'll
up, right?
ask
Are you able,
maximum.
are you able to
Plus
fly?
4.
Yeah, I'll ask maximum
plus
2
2.
people to do the survival check. 1 for the front and 1 for the back.
Cool.
Okay, I
Did
can.
you say you got +5, Isabel?
I've got +2. I would
I
go
have-
for the
Oh, sorry.
+2.
I have +4.
+3.
Oh.
Odin
got
has +9.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
Odin,
I mean-
you're doing. Odin,
I mean,
yes.
you know the way, so you should probably lead the way.
Yeah.
I think.
Odin
that makes
is, yeah.
Yes.
Odin is part wizard, part druid. As he's a part of your party, you should know kind of this kind of setup. Odin is a 10th level wizard and a 6th level druid. But because he is those, you
Same.
know, squishy things, he might have power and he might have high stats, but his hit points are only 70. So he's still just
Hey,
about as
hey,
squishy as
don't-
you guys are.
Don't come for the hit points. We've all got our squishiness.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
He's only got 15 hit points more than you, and he's double your level. So more than double your level.
Odin
in
sort your
fact.
shit out, clearly.
So Odin is like weak.
You're the squishy
We
squad,
made this
alright?
point before. We made this point before that yes, he is a god, but he is a weak god. He's been
an old
stuck in
man.
Gorizont. He's not been having ambrosia while he's been here. His famous spear, what's it called again? Gungnir. It's snapped, so he now just uses it as a quarterstaff and as a walking stick. but the haft and the blade on the top of it gone. So he's basically like he's down to just his ravens, and his wisdom and his wits. And apart from that,
That's
he's
such a nice
weak old
saying.
man.
Down
Does
to
he
just the
still
ravens.
have
Yeah, down to just the ravens.
the blade?
That's basically Odin in a nutshell. He's got a hazy memory, and he's got power when he needs it, but altogether he's very squishy, just about as squishy as you guys are. So yeah, that's
He's a
that's
squishy
the
old
thing.
man.
He has
Odin
abilities
has
where he
strength
needs it.
confirmed.
Exactly.
Does Odin
Um,
still have the blade to his spear?
No. Also, what's the other thing? He's also agreed to help you in the fight against Ox. So when you leave, he leaves with you. So yeah, that's that. But we've got the survival check we needed.
Mm,
Have we decided who two are going to do that? We know that Odin's doing
well,
one of them.
Odin's
Who's
gonna
doing
do
the other?
one.
Perhaps we
I
should
have a +4,
We
by
should-
the way.
stand by Odin in case he needs a little bodyguard.
A little guidance.
He does still have more HP than you guys, but
Yeah, yeah.
he is, he's very prone to losing it.
He's
Um,
double our level, guys, and
Yeah.
and he's only just above us.
Yeah, he's more than
Rather
double your
we didn't
level.
get
and
our
he is
guest
very
killed though.
I did actually have him spec'd out to be BBEG in case you guys got hostile with him, and at that point he had HP of 172, so that I could counter that part of it. But because he's now joined your party, I thought I'd balance it down a little bit so that you're not just being
Like 3
carried.
rounds of crits.
We still need those survival checks if anyone could do them.
Yeah, Cats, I think it's we're the other highest, so you may as well roll.
Wow.
alongside
An
Odin.
8 and a
Very in.
29. An 8 and a 29. That
At
averages
least
out
somebody got
to
a
a
nat
decent
20.
number. Yeah. That averages out to a decent number, but with a nat 20, that's pretty fucking good. I did say, I don't know if you didn't hear it because there was a lot of talk, but I did say that it was only 2 people would be doing the survival checks. So we're going to take the first 2, which are the 8 and the 29. But
Sorry.
that's fine. But with the 29, we have managed to
have our heading.
Yes, we have managed to find a decent enough route through the undergrowth that you're not getting caught on anything, that you're not having to find, difficult terrain to have to climb over. This is going to be just as easy a route as if you had walked on the road as well. Now I would like a perception check. Anybody can give me this. But again, I think you'd be more focused on the ground than you would on the area around you. So again, I'm going to limit this to 2 people. Who wants to give me these perception
+3.
checks, please?
I have +7 on perception.
And
say
you can
Victor
fly,
would
so
also
you could like legit
Plus
fly
7
up. And...
as well.
Okay, I'll let you do the perception since I failed the wisdom.
I guess. How about this? The 2 people who did the survival checks probably would be more focused on that than on perception. So
Right.
we'll discount you 2. So of the other group,
shucks. My +9 in perception goes to waste.
well, you can't do all the checks for everyone, can you? A dirty
I'll find
20
it
from
useful
Briar is
eventually.
pretty good. Anybody beat a
Oh.
20? A 13 is also pretty good from Victor. I would say that Briar here is certainly tapping into the nature goddess that you are attuned to. Although you've learned that she doesn't really she's not into the gig so much these days because she this was something that we didn't explain as well, Victor, at the start. You know that there are these 5 original goddesses. You know now from Odin and from other talks and teachings and other people and stuff that basically those goddesses got erased basically by the Norse gods when they arrived because they were not the first. They saw these other goddesses who were already here and offered them deals. They would either die or they would have their memories wiped or they would become something else and take a different name. And so Ea, the Norse nature god, or goddess rather, she is one of the original 5 goddesses, but she's become despondent, not happy, sort of disassociating from the whole role, and is refusing to take on her duties as the nature goddess, which is why it's kind of difficult to actually get any kind of clerical insight by Briar and Ash. You've also learned that they are true immortals. So while the Norse gods can die, and they are just like powerful people with long lives, basically, because of their ambrosia, these 5 are true immortals. And so that's where Ea comes into all of this, just so that you know that much. Right. So, with that perception check that Briar has given, as you're off the beaten track, you're walking through this undergrowth, you see that these trees are about as beautiful as a tree can be. Everything here looks idyllic. Everything, even like the wood, has got a perfect grain on it. All of the bark is like, there's only just so much moss that you could call it pretty without saying that it's too mossy. All of the plant life is great. There is still no natural wildlife to speak of. No animal kind. Nothing like that. But you do hear the sounds of the wind through the trees. You see the clouds moving overhead. You see the sun beating down. You notice that there is no snow here. Winter has not made its way to Gorizont. You see that all of the brambles and the briars are bundled up tightly so that you don't prick yourselves on them. Everything here is as perfect and pristine as a postcard. Everything here is perfect. It almost feels too perfect. But as you are walking through this undergrowth, you start to notice, Briar, that there are more briars, shall we say. That you're getting to a point towards your your right side, the north to you, where everything sort of feels a little bit more rustic, where this perfection is wearing thin. There's not so much of it around, where it is difficult to walk, and it is difficult to see these things, and it is difficult to spot the clouds overhead, and the moss is really overgrown, and there are weeds around, and wildflowers, and there are even the odd buzz of a fly, and it's the first wildlife that you've heard for so long, that you've been here for probably about a week at this point. And it's then that you notice that there is a settlement to your north, that there is this small little hamlet that's on a small stream, and you see that there are people milling about. There are animals there. There are like cattle. There are people who work on their own like small plots, but it's a quiet place, and these are quiet people. It's up to you whether your group diverts to go towards this, or whether you decide to bypass it altogether.
Oh, look, creatures.
Yes, I think this would be a good place to stop, at least to catch our breath.
Okay.
Get information.
And get some information, yes.
So then, in that case, tell me, are you walking in casually, or are you walking in with purpose? Are you stealthing in? What's sort of your way about this? What are we doing here?
I haven't moved maps.
Yeah, I
No, I
haven't
know.
either.
I know.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
Fine.
I'm asking you this
Ruby has
question so that I
a-
have time to fix the map ready for you.
In terms of entering, Ruby's gonna have a preference for at least just her, even if it's with anyone else who has some higher stealth stats, of trying to stealth in, just because she was the one who was knocked out. But she's also been mulling over in her head whether she specifically was knocked out compared to
Yeah.
you guys. She doesn't know, only because obviously her friends were murdered on entry, so she's now trying to work out if it was targeted or not. Just throwing it out to the group now that B's brain has caught up.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you're nervous, we can. A couple of us can go and see if these people are hostile. If we just approach normally and see how friendly they are. If you want to wait here for a moment.
What if they try to make us try to join their cause, like the last people?
Yeah, the last people seemed friendly, but They were definitely giving off a vibe. I also tried to
ones
fuck with
aren't-
them, and they didn't particularly land well.
That seems out of character.
I may or may not have pretended I couldn't speak common.
It's certainly one way
Okay.
about introducing
Okay.
yourself to a person, isn't
Yes.
it? So, as you approach from the south, you all have this discussion. Your voices grow hushed as you just observe the people in and around this place. You notice that there are small farm buildings and there are small, like, houses and bunkhouses and things like that. But one thing does strike you as different, as odd almost, is that the people here, although bipedal and two-armed, they are certainly not the standard humanoids that you're used to seeing. These are kobolds and gnomes. These are trolls and sprites. These are bugbears. These are a different kind of creature. All of these creatures seem like they are getting on and getting about their days. They are moving to and fro, carrying bags of grain. They are discussing with each other the ideas of erecting a new barn, a new storage unit. Taking care of cattle, things of that nature. All of these creatures here seem like they're just living normal lives, but with animals around. And yes, there are these purple crystals all the way across the place, but they don't seem to be bothered by them. Some things are even stacked on top of them. You can see that one of the crystals near you has got a little wheelbarrow next to it, and that someone's been leaving their tools on top of the crystal, as if it was just something that you could easily just leave your shit on. So far, your experiences of these crystals have been, if you touch it, it grows, a violent red color and starts like throbbing with energy and nearly explodes. So, this is a very different sight that you're experiencing at this point. And you are here, and you are in this small place. You can see that on one of the little buildings nearby, in a very sort of rudimentary handwriting, using some white paint, it seems, someone has written Guard Point on it. Garde point. Guard Point. And that someone's left that sign up there as a little, I don't know, is it a welcome? Is it a threat of guards? But you don't know just by looking. You can see that there is wildlife and that there are tamed animals. And you can see that these creatures are clearly getting about and living a life. It's up to you what you do from this point.
Okay. How does everybody feel? You want to try a luck?
Seem calm and like they're just living life here.
Yeah, but it's weird because they have animals here. There's not really animals anywhere else.
In certain areas, the magic that keeps the animals away is strong. Or there's,
Not a
I
lot
don't
in
know,
the city.
a presence that kills them, perhaps. But I'm happy to if you want to sneak in, we can sneak in. But that just, if we get caught, that just garners suspicion, right?
Mhm.
And I guess it wouldn't be a good idea for me to turn into an animal either if there's no animals around.
Yeah, it might startle people again if you turn into a cat and there's no such thing as cats.
Have we seen a cat?
No.
DM? No. Okay.
Not yet. You might if you go further into this place, but not.
But there are other animals.
You've definitely not seen them anywhere else though. There's no creatures here besides what has already been described.
Okay. I'm happy to go and attempt to talk to them. If you would rather stay here, I'll go by myself and then let you know if it's
Alright.
if it's safe.
Kobold
We have
here
a hand
goes over
gesture
towards the.
We have a hand gesture for that, right? I can't remember.
You've got like 8 different gestures that you've discussed.
Was it danger one of them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Can I dive in briefly, DM, and ask you a question?
Go for it.
So we've not clocked any animals anywhere.
No, not
on this
apart from
island at
here.
all?
Yeah, not apart from here.
Oh, okay.
Here there is like the plant life is wild and the creatures are wild. It seems like there's something different here, but you couldn't put your finger on it. Apart from the fact that
Okay.
there's clearly animals here where you've not seen them anywhere else on this island.
Okay. I was wondering just in terms of like farm life animals versus wild animals. Like, have we actually seen any food sources?
Well, there's crops. You can see that there's a pumpkin patch a little bit further down.
I
You would
should
have seen that as you came in.
Meat food sources.
Meat food sources. You might need
Yeah.
to. Well, I described cattle, but you might need to do a little bit more investigating to find out exactly what.
Yeah, that's what's slightly unnerved Ruby is she's now wondering where food sources is coming from on an island where you can't leave. So unless it's a bloody massive island,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna run out of food sources in terms of meat, unless you can get your meat quite quickly. Ruby's having a slight long pork concern.
Okay.
Long pig. I said it wrong.
Oh
Long
no,
pork
no,
fist.
no, not
That's
that.
a very
Long
different
pig,
thing.
yeah.
That is a very
Go on
different
mute.
thing.
Yeah, very different. Well, David could tell you all about that. In the
Okay.
first campaign, I described them a tavern on an island where they were serving long pig, and
Yep.
someone in the group clocked that
Like
that
hot
means
dogs.
someone in the someone in the group clocked that means cannibalism, and they asked if they could do a check on it, and it just so happened that they succeeded on their check. Otherwise, they would have gladly eaten 3 human pies. So there you go.
Imagine if long pig was a hot dog.
So here's the messed
That's what I'm
up
calling
thing.
it from now on.
So here's the messed up thing that like you might not realize quite how messed up in the head I am as a DM, but if you were ever in any doubt, let me give you this lovely little bit of insight into what I did in the first campaign ever that I'd ever written. Right, David can attest to this. There was an island of shipwrecked pirates, and they had used all of the wood from their ships to make buildings. But they'd only found the crops on the island were pumpkins, and there was nothing else. So they couldn't exist on that. So what they did was, anybody who was going to be executed, instead of wasting the body, they ate the body. But they then kept the ship's mage, like archmage, tethered to a wall and took away every part of her but the essentials to keep her alive. So she only had one arm and like no bottom half, and she had like skin falling off her and stuff, and they did that so that she could cast resurrection, like true resurrection on them every day, so that they'd eat the meat, and then with a finger bone left over, she'd then cast that on them, they'd come back to life, get executed again, and everybody could eat off that meat.
Okay.
Cannibalism in D&D is a real and present threat, and you need to be worried about it.
Okay.
As
So
you
Victor
are
didn't know
talking
that.
together, as you're talking together, a large troll walks down
Sick. Love
towards
trolls.
and just gets into this mud and just starts like splashing water up his legs. Gets like some muddy water like caked in, and then turns back around and heads back towards the direction that he came from.
Yeah, let me. Shall I just go and talk to somebody and see what happens? I can always run if it's a problem.
So there's a couple of gnomes that are close by that are talking to each other, and then there's a kobold over here by the wheelbarrow. It's really up to you guys who you want to talk to.
Let me go to the closest fella, which would be this guy by himself.
Okay. You walk up to him. He's got like a tool belt that's got like a small pair of like rustic shears that have been made by 2 flints that are sort of tied together with some twine.
But not
He's got
weapons.
no weapons, no, nothing really to speak of. He's got like a big wooden mallet. He looks like he's just a woodworker essentially, and you know, has other necessary tools for doing other things. But he's like a diminutive little 1 foot, 2 foot tall guy, and is a bit startled when you walk up. Oh, hello.
Hello. Good morning.
I've not seen someone of your size before. Not around here, anyway.
No, I mean there was a big fellow in the mud over there a moment ago.
Well, yes, but that's Tom. He's different.
And I suppose he's much bigger, so you're probably right if I'm kind of a middle size that you've not seen before.
I suppose I was being polite. Let me be a bit more. I've not seen a half-orc before. Not around here.
Oh.
No.
Yes, that's not impolite. Yes, I'm a half-orc.
Sorry,
I'm not.
I didn't mean
No.
to. Yeah. Sorry.
No. You didn't say anything rude. You're just pointing out the truth.
I'm glad you understand.
Sorry.
What
my
brings
name's
you here?
Victor.
This is not the sort of place that we meet new people.
No. We came here to meet some friends a while ago. And we're a little lost and weary, and we were set upon in our travels by, or my friends were before we found them, by some not very savoury creatures. So I was
Oh, that's not very nice.
yes, I was just wondering if it would be okay to maybe. Is there a tavern here? Perhaps we could sit and have a drink, or
Oh, no tavern.
or a
no.
mead hall. No.
We're only a small settlement. There's only the people here that stay here. They work, and we don't really have time for taverns. No.
Okay. Would you be willing to give us a little information about this land? We're basically we're trying to go home,
Of course.
and we're not
Can I
from
just
here.
ask? You say
Yes.
we, but I only see you.
My friends are a little way behind. I'm what we call in the trade a scout.
Oh, wait, like a military scout.
No. Just I scout forwards when we're traveling. We're sort of an adventuring party. We go around helping people and such with
Oh,
our skills. So
I'm
we're
not
not
sure
here.
what help we need, though, to be honest.
Oh no. If you're good without our help, that's absolutely fine. We'll just be passing through. But would you mind if I go back a little and grab my friends, and if we maybe come and
Oh, of course.
have a conversation?
Yes,
Is it safe here?
You probably need to talk to Trelawney. Trelawney is really the person in charge around here. She's the sort of village elder, if you like.
And she's not likely to, I don't know, try and string us up or anything for just entering your lovely little town. here.
Oh, she wouldn't string you up, but Tom might.
Who's Tom?
The big troll.
Oh, okay. But if we don't upset him, he'll be fine, right? He looks like a nice enough fellow.
Oh, he's fine. He turns around over his shoulder and calls, Tom! Tom!
Oh no!
And the troll
Don't
turns
disturb
around
him.
and waves and is like, What's wrong? Come over here. I've got someone who wants to say hello.
Can I insight check him
And
to
he
see if he's trying to
comes
get the troll
over.
to kill me?
Yeah, go for it.
See if I need to, if I'm in danger, essentially.
Go for it. Give me an
If he's
insight
been,
check.
telling me the truth. Jesus Christ. Oh, not the time.
10 is all right.
Yeah.
That's not awful. I guess that's not awful.
Plus 7. It's
Let me
garbage.
just see legacy sheet. There we go. Now I can see the insight. So yeah, 10 versus 9 does win. He is telling you the absolute truth. He's just a nice guy, as far as you can tell.
Oh, okay.
So Tom comes over. He's a very lanky troll. He's not very well built, muscle wise. He's incredibly tall, but he has a hunch and he's quite gaunt. His legs are thin as sticks. He could probably do a good amount of damage if he tried, but he just lumbers over like sort of an awkward teen, basically. And he gets over here and he says, "Oh, hello. Did you say you wanted to say hello to me? Who are you?"
Yes, I'm Victor. It's nice to meet you, Tom.
Hi.
I'll
He
hold my
doesn't.
hand out to shake his hand.
He hugs you.
Oh,
Your feet lift clean off the ground as he like holds you in. He's clearly not washed in anything but mud for
fine.
what must be months, because the stench is incredible. He has a musk about him that is powerful. But yeah, he holds you uncomfortably long time, until when you're put down, you're covered in like thick sweat and caked dried mud. And he says,
I pat his back as he picks me up. I'm like trying to half hug him back, like, oh.
"Oh, that's very nice of you. Is there something on my back? Am I covered in flies? Sorry."
No. You were hugging me, so I thought I'd reciprocate. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, that's kind of you. I tend to see. I like the animals around here. I'm a bit of a natural person. And there's a lot of like lizards and frogs that like the flies, and I cover myself in mud so that they come and eat the flies. I like them. Anyway, I'm going to let you do what you're doing. I don't know why you're here, but you seem like a friendly guy. So
No, I was just talking to your friend here.
Oh yes, yeah, he was talking to me. Look, I don't really know what information I might be able to offer you more than just that this is Tom and that Trelloc runs the place.
And what was your name, sorry?
I'm Turbs.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Turbs.
Turbs, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's nice to meet you too. I'm going to go back and get my friends. You all seem like friendly folk, and I think we can probably have a chat with Trelloc. Are they usually busy at this time of day?
There you go. Those are the names in chat.
Cool.
Well, she sort of does a little bit of everything, really. It's how she became the sort of leader. You know, if you need advice on something, she's old enough to give that advice. She's very knowledgeable in a lot of things because she's done a lot of things. So we said that she should probably just lead us, because who better to lead you but the most competent person? She doesn't like the role, really, but I think that qualifies her more than anything.
Okay. I really appreciate your help. It's
No problem. If you don't mind, I need to get to rehooving some of our animals. Their hooves get a little bit hurt on the stones, you see.
Yes, of course. On the purple stones, are they?
What, these? And he kicks one.
Yes. Are they not magical? Do they not? We were told that they do some bad things if you try to leave. Is that not true? They look pretty inane.
I'm probably not the person to ask about that kind of thing, to be honest. I just leave my tools around here sometimes.
Okay.
They're quite cold, though. Have you touched one?
I don't know if I would have touched one already. I think I might have tried to, maybe. Yes. I think it was. I mean, you see a purple stone, you touch it, right?
You're exactly the kind of fella that we need around here. See something, touch it.
Yes. And my curiosity always gets the better of me. So.
Oh yes, you might get along with Trelloc. That's how she learned a lot of things, is by just like trying a lot of things. But you'll find Trelloc up the way. Just go down that way and turn right, cross the river. You'll find Trelloc over there.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's usually where she hangs out, anyway.
Find my friends. Have a great day. It's nice to meet you both.
Do you need a hand bringing your friends over? Tom might be able to carry them.
No. They're all able to walk and such. They're just a little way behind.
Are you
me,
sure? I can carry them if you want me to.
No, Tom. It's okay.
Do you want me to carry you back? I can carry you back if you want.
No, I'm fine. I prefer to walk. If you could, but you go about catching lizards and frogs and stuff. I'm sure
Oh, yes.
they need you more than I do.
There's a little green fella over by the river. I'm going to go and try and catch him. Thank you.
Yes. Good luck.
I've got a name for him already picked out. And
Oh,
as he walks away, you hear him muttering under his breath, "Horace the Frog." Yes, Horace sounds good. Horace the Frog.
Okay. I'm gonna go back and talk to the guys then. I suppose.
Cool.
Let me do that. I'm gonna walk over. Do I see anyone who looks armed as I walk back? Like any?
No more than regular tools. No, nobody
Oh,
looks
okay.
like they're tooled up, so to speak, for war or fighting.
Yeah.
They all just seem like they're sort of, doing their bit for the village.
Okay.
Can't even be really called a village. It's so small, this place. It's more like a hamlet. But yeah, it's like that kind of a thing.
Yeah. I don't know if do these guys need a minute. Have they been talking about anything?
Yeah, we can cut back to you guys. What do you think you would have been talking about while Victor was speaking to the kobold?
I didn't want to assume they were just in silence. You know what I mean?
Probably talking about like how the town and stuff looks, like the settlement.
Okay.
Pushing the stones and watching from where we are what's going on around us.
Okay.
Cool.
I was just listening out for Victor in case he needed backup for any reason.
Cool.
Yeah, were we close enough to kind of overhear the conversation, or no?
If you guys were talking about something, then I would say no. Because it's one of those that you've got to either actively listen or you're not going to be able to really pick up on it.
Does Victor mention the troll who went frog hunting?
That's up to Victor.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll come back around. So I think everybody's quite friendly, as far as I can tell. Nobody's carrying weapons. Nobody was like mean or anything. I got quite a good impression of the little kobold fella and the big troll guy. He likes frogs and lizards and stuff too. He likes to feed them flies, apparently.
Where'd he go?
Yes. He went over to the river, which I think is where we need to go if we want to talk to
I'm gonna go inspect the
person-
river.
the wise person or the person in charge of the town, I believe.
Okay. Let's go there then.
Or if everybody is comfortable with that and feels
Frog.
safe enough, like nobody jumped out and tried to eat me or anything, so I think we're safe here, right? You guys didn't see anything, no?
Didn't see anything fishy.
Oh, has anybody touched these purple stones, by the way?
Oh gosh, no, we're not going to even dare.
Last time they got angry.
They got angry.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Oh.
They
Because-
turned red and glowed
Because
and
he,
were
he
angry.
just kicked one and nothing happened.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, I just kind of took your word for it not to touch them, but he said feel cold and he kicked one and it was fine.
Cool.
Hey,
Yes.
Jackal, say hi real quick to my stream.
Hi, real quick to my stream. Was that the exact word that you wanted?
No, I'm just talking about you as all.
Oh, hi.
Oh.
Hi!
Makes sense.
As
to talk
soon
about
as,
the
as soon
DM.
as Ruby hears that someone has kicked a rock, you can just internally see her just seething with the concept that she really wants to punch the rock.
While
'Cause
Ruby
we
is
know what she's
directly
like when she
upside
sees
down
a
at the
rock when
moment.
it's shiny.
Do it.
Oh, maybe
Right.
she wants to do a really cool jump kick or jump punch, but the concept that she could,
Yeah.
she's now proper fidgeting that she wants to punch this rock.
Do it.
Give me a wisdom
Do it.
saving throw.
Oh, okay. Am I actually punching the rock, or is it my intensity need to
You-
punch the rock?
What's the opposite of guidance?
I'm gonna need you also to roll an insight.
Cool.
Okay, you managed to save against that. Your insight has not defeated your wisdom save. You've managed to suppress the feeling that you must do this now, but that thought still lingers in the back of your mind of maybe I should, but I'll consider it. It's up to you whether
Again,
you
it's
actually
glad
go
that-
through with that.
I'm glad
Otherwise, I
Ruby
would have
has better
made you
impulse
punch
control
it.
than me.
Yeah, otherwise I
Yeah,
would have
I'm
made
glad
you
Ruby has
punch it.
better impulse
100%.
control than me. Jesus. Cool.
Victor, on the other hand,
Well, you said that you would have touched one outside of here. So you would have seen that they glow red and they like get energetic and stuff.
oh, okay.
You've definitely not seen the evidence that you can freely kick one and nothing happen.
Yeah. Okay. He just kicked one in front of me, though, didn't he?
He did.
What happens if Aldrin just pokes the rock next to them?
Do you do that?
Just a very gentle.
Oh, wait. Maybe that's what changes everybody's mood.
Oh.
Maybe that's what
not
makes people
then.
angry around.
That's before touching. and
Maybe if
doesn't touch.
yeah, I like stop you. Maybe if you're not from here and you interfere with the
maybe.
rocks, it makes the locals mad.
Doesn't make the locals angry. It makes the rock angry.
Yeah, so maybe that changes their mood and they need to feel as though they need to defend the rocks, perhaps.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe we just don't touch the rocks.
I'd like to find that troll with the frog.
Maggie? What are you doing?
You spot Maggie trying to stealth her way over to the rock to touch it.
No.
Hold on, you need to
Maggie,
pass
stop.
perception to see her doing that.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, my path was like
I
a
think it's
million.
under all of our like passive perceptions. I think we all
Yeah.
see Maggie.
You all
trying
see
to
Yeah,
Maggie
reach the
easily.
rock.
Yes, you all
Yeah.
see Maggie easily.
Maggie.
Your passive perception is 10 plus your wisdom modifier plus proficiency if you're proficient in it. So like you all definitely would see, like, just as a base, you would see Maggie just blatantly walk over and just reach a hand out to touch this rock.
Mm.
I don't
Yeah,
think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I also have observant, so I've got an extra like million on top of that as well.
Yeah. Hey, if anyone wants to dunk on Maggie right now, you're welcome to give me a roll. But I don't think that
No,
anyone
I'll
is
take
actively checking to see. I think this is a passive thing. But yeah,
Yeah, I'll
fully,
take my
fully I
passive.
think that you can see that Maggie's intent is to just get this over and done with, and just touches the thing. But yeah, you don't.
Maybe we ask Trelloc. I believe that's the leader's. I think leader or wise person. So they're certainly older and know more about the land than anybody else. So perhaps we should go and.
We're gonna
Go talk to
ask some
them.
questions.
let me just roll
Yes.
something real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
With a 13 on deception, you guys hear Maggie perfectly mimic what Victor just said. We need to go and talk to Trelloc.
Oh,
Ooh, good job,
you-
Maggie.
Yeah,
It's very
Aldrin,
good.
you hear it from behind you over your shoulder like a second time.
even I thought it was me.
Did my mouth move on its own?
Did you say even you thought it was you?
Yeah, I thought that was in my head or something. Very bizarre.
The friend just spoke to you in your own voice.
Oh no, we don't want that. I can't trust anybody.
Not even yourself.
Not even Rumpelstiltskin.
You
we
want
don't
him
do it.
dead. You fully want Rumpel dead. Don't deny it.
Ruby
My
really
best
wants
friend.
to awakened mind into Victor, just speak straight into his head of don't trust anyone's voices.
Yeah.
Victor throws up.
Constitution save. Oh, that's
Yeah,
something you
can't
missed,
save.
Victor.
Can't save.
That's something you missed. Ruby saw the ravens throwing up definitely a human body and just
I puke.
vomited herself in response.
I'm so confused. I'm so disorientated by all of these
Con
voices.
save, you have fully vomited. Okay. With that con save of 6, I will probably need another roll. Let me figure out what I want from this.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna be away from
Sure.
the keyboard for just a few minutes.
Give me a dex save. If it's less than 10,
Oh.
then something will happen. You're getting dizzy.
Dexterity.
You're getting dizzy from this vomit.
Oh, come
Okay.
on.
You fall over and
I've got a
you
plus
fall
7.
over. So you do vomit at all of this like thing happening from the con save of 6 with a 4 on the die, and as you sort of like go to do that, that sort of inner reflex that a lot of us have that make you go dizzy at the same time, you have to try and catch yourself, and with a dex save of only 9, unfortunately you don't meet the 10 requirement that I did say up top. But you go to reach out to catch yourself, and your hand touches the purple rock.
Oh, oh dear.
Uh-oh.
This may not be good.
As everybody catches their breath, and just like one by
Ribs,
one, you
Victor.
realize exactly what's happened. While Victor is like getting himself right and standing back up again, wiping off his mouth and everything. No one
I'm
says
just
a
not
word,
moving.
and then you all come to like start breathing again, and Victor then realizes what's happened, and the crystal's not changed color.
Ooh.
Oh. Sorry about that.
Wonder if
Oh.
the crystals have a range.
Maggie sees you touch the crystal and looks at you with narrowed eyes, like, you fuck. How dare
Maggie,
you
that was
stop
an
me?"
accident.
And then
That was an accident. Forgive me.
she looks at she like looks left and right to see if anybody's looking, and regardless of whether you are or not, she like gives it a kick, the one next to her, and nothing happens.
Okay, I guess that's that decided. Perhaps the magic was the reason.
Oh no.
Ruby gets
No,
a dirty
Ruby.
20 on punching a rock. Give me damage. I don't know if there is damage on that because I've not been
Maybe
able to
don't
fully
break
set it up.
them.
No, it's not actually come up with damage.
Yeah, I
I
don't
just
think it
rolled
does.
that and then it's given me another attack.
It would be D4 plus 3 plus either strength or dexterity. Oh, pardon me.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Usually an unarmed strike
I
is
don't know.
strength.
Today on Gouda, guys, we
There you
punch
go.
rocks.
So 6 plus your strength mod, which is 2, so 8. You don't break the whole thing in half, but a small like shard of it breaks off. Nothing happens to the crystal. Doesn't glow.
I pocket the shard.
Okay.
That's mine now. Shiny.
From it feels heavy. It feels dense, like a crystal would. It doesn't have anything different about it. It doesn't look like it's fake, for instance. It doesn't look like it's made of wood or metal. It just looks like it's a smaller piece of the same crystal. And the other part of the crystal stays where it is, unaffected, untouched, on whatever. Just what you did
Thank
to
you
it.
for that. Thank you.
We just took apart the dark crystal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There was no need to do a check there because there was no resistance. It was just, I'm punching a rock now. I'm soz.
Okay. Feel better?
Aurelie walks over to Ruby and helps Ruby up, so that Ruby is now upright, because Ruby has done this sick upside down spinning punch to it, and Aurelie's like, do you maybe want to stand up?
Then let's go. I mean, if you're all ready.
Well, as ready as I can be.
Yeah.
Do we know
so
if there's a bridge?
the kobold pointed down this way, down towards the west, left.
Okay.
Where'd Frog Bag go?
Okay, let's go. Just
Frogman
Acts
went in
natural,
that
I
direction.
suppose.
Yeah. Frogman went in that direction.
Frog? Frog.
Here you go first, now. That's frogs.
Frog.
Ribbit. Ribbit.
As you walk
Who are
down
these
here,
guys?
you see that
Do
there
any of these
are.
guys look like murderers?
So you see that there are druids, there's a dryad, there are satyrs, there's kobolds and gnomes, there's a sprite who's tending some of the smaller flowers and mushrooms in this plot over here. Here Then you see the troll. Aldrin, you see the troll up from behind, and you see the frog that he is trying to befriend. He's just basically just sat there staring at it, cross-legged, while he's covered his bottom half in, like, caked in, like, wet mud, so that flies hang around him, and he's just looking intently at this frog.
Aldrin's gonna go sit next to him and watch the frog as well.
Cool. What do the rest of you do? You keep going? The bridge is north of you now. Ruby, are you following the party as well? You've sort of stayed behind as well as David.
Yeah, sorry, that was me being AFK. Can you move me? Thank you.
Sure. David, are you moving as well?
I think he's also AFK.
Okay, we'll move him as well. All right. So yeah, you get to this point. You see all these people. They're sort of like saying, you know, polite words to each other, but much as you would if you lived in a house share with 12 people, you're probably not going to talk to every single one of them every day. So many of them just exchange nods and like little niceties and polite smiles. But they are just getting on with their day. Some of them have got flour on their hands. They've clearly been baking some kind of bread. You can see that there's some bread out here to the outdoors section of this area to sort of, you know, just feed the village kind of thing. And you see that there is a small, like, babbling brook north of you where there is a wooden bridge, a footbridge that sort of leads across, just like it touches into the shallows when you step over it, but it looks sturdy enough. Like it's probably built well enough for a troll to take if the troll couldn't just, you know, wade through the shallows. But yeah, it seems like a pretty decent place. No real cause for alarm immediately. Do you guys continue north to find Trelloc? Yay or nay?
Aldrin would vote yes, but also wants to stay with the frog.
Yes, I'll introduce everybody to Tom, I suppose.
Cool.
Hi, Tom. These are my friends. One sec.
Hello. I
Hello.
hear you like frogs.
Oh, yes, I do like frogs. He doesn't break eye contact with the frog. He wants to
too.
keep his eye on it. They're a bit skittish, though, so I don't want to look away just in case he hops. This one's been
Yeah,
sat here
yeah.
for about a day, though, so far.
That's quite some time then.
I want him to eat. He does. He seems like he's moping a little. It's silly to think that animals have emotions like that, but he doesn't seem like he's very happy.
I would think they do.
I don't know, really.
Well,
Is there
they're
anything
alive,
I can
aren't
do
they?
to help?
What was that? Sorry, Steve?
Oh, is there anything we can do to help?
Hold on. I've got an idea. Can I turn into a frog?
Of course you can.
I turn into a frog.
Okay. You wild shape into a frog. This is the frog. This is you.
Okay, I want to approach the one that was looking sad, according to Tom.
Yep. Let me just. It's not going to make any difference because it's like a pixel size, but I've turned it
Yes,
around
I can
so
only
it's
just
facing.
see it.
So it moves over here. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
I ribbit. What seems to
happened?
be the matter?
Well, I'm a little bit, lost. I don't know where I'm supposed to be.
Could you elaborate?
Well, I've forgotten where I'm supposed to be. This is, yeah, I don't know this place.
How did you get here?
I think, I came here when the others came, and they left me here, and I never changed back.
Changed back.
Yeah.
What did they change into?
Oh, I've been I've been a baker. I stood here 'cause there's bread. I know bread. I learned bread. But I was changed to a baker.
Oh.
Aldrin, you just get ribbit. You can also see that Ferdinand Frog is sort of perking up a little bit and sort of has some kind of an inclination of what's being said here.
Yeah, I could probably hear what Ferdinand thinks.
Ferdinand can jump in if you want. He's staying with Aldrin for the time
If he
being.
wants to. If he feels... I mean, I don't know his personality if he wants to hop in.
Oh, I haven't thought of what voice he would have. Oh, I've got to think about this now.
He's got a top hat.
Yes, but he's also he's an unawakened frog, which means that he's not an intelligent frog. He doesn't have a he's not got an intelligence score above a normal frog. So, although he's got a top hat, I can't make him sound like he's too. I've got to think about this. Okay. Oh my god! I thought I had time to prepare. I didn't know this was going to happen this session. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's up to Aldrin really, and Ferdinand, I suppose. Aldrin, what do you think? He's more your pet than he is mine. So you know, what would Ferdinand do?
He looked like he was perking up and curious about the conversation. I'd be asking him like, "Hey, what's going on with the conversation?" And like, find out what you can, pal. But I mean,
to you just hear
just
him
a dumb
like,
little frog, and I don't know what he's saying.
yeah, he's just
But
sort
I
of.
mean, could I use comprehend languages?
He's
and
not
understand
speaking
that?
a language. So. I'm allowing Isabel to talk to the frog because Isabel
it's
turned into a frog.
animal
But they're
shapey thing.
not, yeah, exactly. But they're not speaking any discernible language. It's more like they're just talking in frog. If you get what I mean.
That's what I wanted to check.
It's not like Sylvan. Do you know what I mean? Like they couldn't speak words otherwise that you would otherwise hear. But yeah, you it would be essentially like Isabel speaking Druidic. Because Druidic is a language only spoken by druids and animals. So yeah, basically be along those lines if you wanted to talk mechanics. But yeah, Ferdinand Frog could go and get involved.
Basically be like, yeah, go ahead and join the conversation.
So this bright blue frog with a top hat leaps over and lands next to you then, Isabel.
Oh, Ferdinand?
Aye.
How can we help you?
You look like you're confused. I thought that I might be able to come over and help.
I believe.
What seems to be the problem?
I am not 100% sure if this frog in front of me is a real frog or not.
Do you want me to look at him?
I assume that since you're a real frog, you'd know if a real frog was there or not.
I don't know what words you're saying. What is a frog?
It's what you are.
Oh.
Is this one like you?
Ferdinand, what's that?
That's your name. That's what the name.
I've heard the big one call me that. I don't know. Is
That's
that
your name.
me? I'm Ferdinand. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'll allow it. That's fine. Well, I guess I'll take a look. Hi there, fella.
Hi. I don't know who you are, but if you want to look at me, I'm fine with that. I don't know what to do.
Well, I guess we start at the basics. And he goes over. Ferdinand leaps over and just starts like awkwardly putting his hands on this other frog, just to sort of like poke at him and feel him. And he hops back over to you, Isabel, a second later. He's got a vent. So I suppose.
A
Makes
vent?
sense. Yeah. Got a vent.
What is that?
It's a hole.
Rubber.
But
Okay.
where you're when you eat your food, it's what comes out after. It comes out of the vent.
Okay.
He's got one of those.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, butthole.
That's
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah. Is that it? Is it a butthole? I don't know what
Yes.
a butthole is. Oh.
Fuck's sake.
You weren't expecting Ferdinand to be an Irish frog obsessed with buttholes, were you?
Butthole frog.
No one would expect that.
I'm telling Aldrin all of this when I get back.
Did he ask if it was okay?
No, he just walked. He just leapt over to him and just looked at his butthole.
Did I see what the
I told you
like?
this is an
I also
unintelligent frog.
wanna add- I also want to add, it's not a butthole, it's a cloaca.
Yeah.
So it's way worse because it's
Yeah.
kind of his genitals.
It's a multi-purpose hole. Yeah, it's a hole
Yeah.
it's a hole for all. It's a
for
whole hole.
everything.
No,
It is a whole
don't say
hole.
hole for all.
The Swiss Army butthole.
It is a whole hole. Swiss Army
God, that's
butthole. Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. It's a
Could I see
cloaca
what-
slash vent. On frogs, they're vents, I think. But yeah, it's the
Could I
same
see
thing. It's
Swiss
a cloaca.
Army butthole. That's a term.
Swiss Army
That's
butthole.
fair.
So Ferdinand walked out, leapt over and awkwardly inspected this other frog and found that it had a butthole. Is basically what he's told you.
Okay.
He's got a
thank you.
vent. I think that's a good thing, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go. Just future reference. Don't go anywhere near my vent.
Do you have a vent?
You're not going to find out. I don't know. I'll make sure that my back is never to him.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine. Is this thing necessary? And he looks up at his top hat. Is this necessary?
Aldrin, your friend seems to think it's cool.
What's cool
And-
mean?
How to explain fashion to a frog?
Is that cold? I am cold. I like cold.
Then keep it on then.
Oh, right. Right you are. I'll follow that. Thank you.
I'm guessing if this is normal behavior for frogs, can I see what the other frogs' reaction to that whole thing was?
Sure. He's sort of just, blinking asynchronously. He's, looking around him at flies and stuff, but he looks more or less nonplussed and confused. Like, he's lost.
So he's either a druid who's forgotten he's not a frog, or it's a spell that keeps turning frogs into things.
Possibly.
This is interesting. Why
What is interesting? I'm lost.
I don't know where you come back from, where you come from, but this big fella, I'm my flip, whatever you call my hands.
Yeah.
I gesture over to the big Tom.
Yeah.
They seem
Tom the
nice.
Troll, yeah.
Maybe give them a little croak.
Oh, can I do
Because
that?
I think he's worried about you.
When I croaked before, when I was a baker, they didn't like that, so I stopped croaking. I was supposed to eat bread. I like flies. I like normal food. Why do I have to eat bread?
You don't have to eat bread if you don't want to.
Can I eat the flies on this big
Sure.
guy?
Sure, I think that's why he's got the flies, because he wants to be friends with you, so he's showing the flies to you.
What's a friend?
It's a friend is someone
A
that you
friend
like.
is somebody who checks your vent for you.
No, it's not. That's the wrong sort of friend.
Yes, that's the thing. You check your vents for each other.
I don't know if that's a frog thing or not, but it's not for my kind.
Are you my friend?
Do you want to be?
He leaps
think
over
Tom
and
wants
tries to
to.
check your vent.
No,
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to offend.
I am. I'll be honest. I am not really a frog.
You're
and-
not. Oh, I am a frog. I'm not really
I
a
know.
baker.
Then you could be a frog, or you like. I just
Oh,
don't
okay.
identify as a frog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I not, I don't know why I was a baker, but I don't remember where I was before that. I just know that I'm a frog, and I don't know whether I should be happy being a frog or find a way back to being a baker.
Well,
I
what,
don't know.
without thinking about it, what do you want to do now? What would make you happy now?
Flies.
Then take all the flies you want, my friend.
Well, will big guy help?
Yes, he looks like he wants to help you.
He might check your vent for you.
Oh, that would be nice. I'll do that.
I am not like Aldrin. I'm gonna have words with you when I get back to normal.
Thank you. I'll go with this big guy then. Thank you. Thanks.
Don't check his fence. He might not like that.
He hops over in front of Tom, and Aldrin, you see Tom, like, stop breathing, just like, like, very, very, like, excited at the idea of this frog leaping over to him, and then the frog just starts, like, hopping over towards the flies on his shins and, like, lapping them off with his tongue.
There you go.
Oh, look, he's doing it.
Patience one out.
He's doing it. He's eating the flies.
Yeah, he likes them.
I hope you all the best, my friend. Keep your vent clean. And then he hops
look
over
at this.
to Aldrin and leaps onto your head again.
Hey there, buddy.
I'm going to back away and turn back into Isabel. Back into a human.
Yep. You turn back into Isabel.
Yeah, away from the frog, so I don't startle him.
Mm-hmm.
Aldrin,
Yeah.
do not let that frog near your butt. Do not let that frog near your butt.
Why?
He likes it. He is checking butts and taking names. He is obsessed with them, but I think.
I mean,
Good to
he's
know.
probably had a lot of opportunities to check our butts already.
I mean, I'm gonna guess he
hasn't
doesn't
got
know it.
hands on him yet.
I'm gonna guess he doesn't know where it is on on a humanoid, and I think it's a good idea that it stays that way.
Alright then.
Be wary.
Keep it in mind.
Be wary.
Don't become the butt of the
Ruby's-
joke.
Oh, very good.
Ruby's just
Don't
becoming
worry,
very
I'll try
nervous
not
that
to make
Ruby
an
isn't.
ass of myself.
Keep yourself covered, you'll never find it.
Ruby's just very concerned that she's not really wearing trousers. It's just like wrapped material around her body. She's like, I'm very, very exposed. She's a
Yeah.
little bit nervous.
Ruby,
Yeah.
Ruby, you've got fur, you're fine. You're fine.
Ruby likes to be clean. She's very concerned about the concept of a frog going near anywhere.
Fair. Totally fair. Yeah.
Oh, you will tell us if Ferdinand suddenly becomes missing, won't you?
I'll keep an eye on him.
Did the frog say anything about the people here?
Oh yeah.
He seems very confused, as you probably guessed. But it sounded like
I mean,
either he was a druid that forgot he was that he forgot was a druid and was a baker briefly, or he was a frog that was turned into someone who could be a baker and then turn back, and he's no idea what to do.
Hmm.
Right. So he was turned into a person?
Something like that, I guess. And then changed back, I guess. But he seems very confused.
Hmm.
Did he say who turned him into that?
He couldn't remember what was happened before.
Oh, so either somebody's turning people into frogs, or turning them from frogs into.
Humans briefly, or maybe not humans, but humanoid.
Hmm.
Anyone want to try and kiss the frog?
No, thank you.
Nope, I am not touching any frogs.
Um,
Damn it.
Ferdinand looks very
I mean-
excited at this.
I mean, if you really think it might do something, then sure, I'm not. Tom, may I pick up your friend there for a moment?
Oh, yes, well, I haven't tried yet. I suppose you could try, yes?
I'll be
Oh,
very
yeah.
gentle, I promise. I'm gonna gently scoop the frog
Okay.
and give him a little kiss
Either give me an animal handling
on
or a
his
sleight of hand.
butt.
Not
You're gonna
on his
kiss
butt,
vent.
please.
Love that.
Animal handling. Oh my
Animal
god, I'm
handling
so good at
or
that.
sleight of hand.
Oh fucking, let's go.
Either
Sleight of
so.
hand.
Animal handling means that you're doing it basically with the frog's consent, like them happily jumping into your hand. Sleight of hand means that you're just swiftly grabbing it, which would be
Yep.
less kind.
My sleight of hand, I believe, should be a. It says on my D&D Beyond, it says it's a +12.
That's pretty good.
So I've got 7 on my sheet. So just add 5 to that when I hit this.
Yeah. Is it that you've got a thing in your inventory on D&D Beyond that you've not equipped on this?
Yes, I think so because
that might be it.
it's
Because I couldn't
my
find it in the thing
gloves
here, and it's
of-
not.
It's the gloves of thievery give me a +5, I believe. To
Yeah,
sleight of
it
hand.
hasn't transferred over on D&D Beyond, and I can't
That's
find
okay.
it in the thing. But yeah, you can just add that bonus. Yeah.
How do I do it? Ability plus. There we go. Plus. I'll just type it in and then. hit
Yeah,
that,
when it
and then
gets
I
to
can
that,
do it.
yeah, you just get a +5. Holy shit, that's a 24. Okay, so he wasn't expecting it. He was like, too focused on flies, but you managed to grab the thing, and he's just sort of like arms down, trying to wriggle his arms out so that he can at least have his, kind of elbows out on top of your thumbs.
On top of his little head, I'll give him
Yeah.
a little kiss.
Okay.
Like
You give him a
that.
kiss. Nothing changes.
Why are we kissing stray frogs?
Ferdinand perks up again though.
Call it-
Ferdinand
call it a
is like ready to jump onto you, Victor.
I'm not kissing all the frogs. That was one experiment.
Okay. What do you do
I
with
think
with this frog now?
Tom, hold out your hand, and I'm going to
Oh,
pass him
yes.
to Tom. But be very gentle, please.
Oh, of course.
And I'm going to just slide the frog onto his hand.
Oh, thank you.
No,
That's very
it's
good.
okay. I think you made a new friend.
What?
I think
you?
you may have made a new
Yes.
friend, Victor.
I do. Yes, you're a friend, aren't you, Victor?
Maybe more than a friend.
I think we're friends now, Tom. Yes.
Yes. So I've made 2 friends.
2 friends. Yes.
Is it customary where you're from to kiss frogs when you see them?
There's just
might- It might be
Sorry.
now.
yes.
I noticed that
There's-
your friend's frog checked its butthole.
I
You
mean,
don't want to know what he's thinking.
I don't know anything about frog customs, but where I'm from,
Oh.
there's like a rumor if you meet a strange frog, perhaps sometimes it'll be a prince,
Oh, that's unusual.
and you give them a little kiss, and it dispels the magic or something. I suppose.
Oh. It's unusual that a prince would become a frog. Much more likely than a regular person might.
Yeah, I think it's usually a curse.
There's more regular people going around, you know?
Yes, but they're usually a lot more likable than royalty.
Oh, well, I take your point. I like this frog. I'm going to call him Horatio.
That's a name.
Yes, I like him.
Is Trellick's house over the bridge?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was asking Tom just to kind of confirm. Okay,
Oh,
then we
yeah. You
probably
you
have
were
some
directed
business.
there by the kobold originally, but yeah. Yes.
Okay.
What's his name? Tom does like point you in that direction. Yes. There we go. Now the frog is on
okay.
his hand. There we go. Look at that.
Do the people here sometimes? Do the frogs here sometimes turn into people? Is that a thing that happens here?
No, not really. I have
Cool.
frogs. I try to look after them as much as I can. I like frogs.
Me
And
too.
lizards too.
Are
do
there
you have
ever
a
people that?
frog collection?
He finally looks up at you and he
Yes,
like takes a
hi.
gasp and he sees that you are covered in frogs.
Oh my
Hello.
god! You've got a lot of
I love
frogs on you,
frogs
haven't
too.
you?
Yes, quite. I love frogs.
Yes, I can
Aw.
see
They're
that.
my friends.
I try to make friends with them, but I don't understand them.
The flies are a good move.
Yes,
They also
I've
like
noticed that.
mealworms and maggots
Oh,
and crickets.
oh, that's good to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to go and find the spawn. I have a place where they try to spawn, and I try to tend the place so that they don't get eaten by fish.
Very nice.
I'm going to go and put Horatio with the others. He might like it more.
Enjoy.
Thank you all. You're very kind. Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye. Have a
and
good life, Horatio.
he walks off and goes into the water and wades through the
Hope
water
your
because
kid
he's
sucks
so
being a
tall
picker.
that he can just like plow through the deep water against the current. And you guys are all free to go north over the bridge to find Trelloc.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Let's.
Northways.
keeping-
Can I? Yeah, okay, never mind.
What's
I
up?
start checking the bridge for traps, but everyone just walks over it. So I'm like,
I'm
yeah.
always
You and
flying,
traps.
so it's fine.
You're always
Yeah.
checking for traps, and I've never given you a trap to find, have I? There
Ways.
is no trap yet. No, not here.
I'm just checking here. Like I'm still here, and I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
Just keep walking,
Aurelie walks up behind you and
no, after you.
Aurelie walks up behind you and puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, I know, Victor. It's okay. I know.
I just
we always think that there are more traps than there are, but it's okay. You don't have to look every time.
okay.
And
I
Aurelie
hold out
walks
my
up
hand to let
confidently.
her help me up,
Yeah.
and she walks off.
She walks
off,
yeah.
and I'm like,
she
oh,
fully
fine,
walks
fuck
off
me
past
then.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
She ignores you completely.
Mhm.
As you walk over the bridge, you do see a cat.
It's a meow.
There's a cat right there in the middle.
Kitty Mau
Stood next to
Mau.
this satyr. There's a satyr who's there just next to the cat. The cat's doing its thing. The satyr's doing its thing. Both of them are licking their own buttholes. Everybody's about buttholes in this
Such a
place.
little cat.
Yeah, it is quite a small cat, really, isn't it? Maybe it's a
I
kitten.
had to like zoom in. I thought it was like a worm or a leaf or something.
Right.
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
see it.
Into the
Understandable.
river.
Ruby has climbed on top of the satyr for some reason.
Victor
I'm
is
letting
in
the river take me.
Help! I
I'm
wasn't
letting the river
sure.
take me.
Help!
Looking for frogs.
I didn't know where people were. Help! Tried to move myself
There
and
you
I went wrong.
Oh no.
Got it.
I just wanted to see the cat. I didn't know where he was.
You're
Cat
on the
is-
cat.
Cat's
Oh,
there.
he was on the bridge. The
Where is
pussy
he?
was on
I
the
want to go pet the
bridge.
cat. There's the
that
cat.
little dot.
Yeah, I want to go pet the tiny cat. Ruby's just gonna walk up and just pet the tiny cat because she sees a cat. She's like gently gonna pet the cat.
It looks skittish
Hello,
of
my
you to begin
little
with.
kitty.
Give me an animal handling check.
Yeah, you are a bigger cat, like a much bigger cat, kind of.
Hey, that doesn't. There you
19.
go.
Very respectable. The
I can
cat sort
cat.
of the cat does that thing where it's like when you first meet a new cat, you know like where it's not familiar with you, it like moves away from you and then it like gradually sniffs and like every sniff it like darts its head away and sniffs again, darts its head away, and it's just doing that repeatedly with Ruby, like just trying to get your scent. And then eventually it sees one of your like recessed claws and starts to rub around it to try and get a scratch just behind its ear. and gives you like the
That's what I
like
hear.
low purr that you can't hear but you can feel, where it just starts to rumble in your hand, and it's like this tiny little kitten, ginger cat. So it's very very sort of wild, the ginger cat.
Ruby's going to scratch behind the ear, and because here's some cat knowledge. Tigers can't purr.
No.
Ruby's going to do the tiger chuffing greeting, which is probably not going to pick up on Discord, but just like
I do
Chuffing
know
tiger
yeah.
greeting.
there you go.
Oh, chuffing greeting. Yeah, no, I was aware of that. I was aware that that tigers do not purr, that they chuff. Yeah, it's like a huffing, isn't it? It's like huff 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 huff.
Yeah, I don't think it picked up on Discord, but I did do it. Cause
I
that's
believe you.
about my level of special interest.
Well, so I think that Ruby is probably just cross-legged on this mini island, just playing the cat.
Yeah.
While the rest of you go about
I
your
am,
business.
yeah.
Victor, do you go up towards the rest to try and find Trolloc?
Yes, yeah, of course. I give the cat a little scritch on the way past.
Nice. Give me an animal handling check again.
I'm going to be probably
See how
really
well
bad at
you do
this.
this. Give me an, I want to see a Victor animal handling check. A 7.
Don't fuck this up for
It
me.
hisses at you. It hisses at you and it runs into Ruby's robes.
Ruby dead eyes you in response.
Yeah.
I'm like, likes you better now.
Maybe likes you slightly less.
Yes.
Mm.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
You cross the river, all of you. There's 2 ravens and God knows how many other people. What's this? 8 other people. All of you crossing together. You definitely get the attention of Trolloc, this dryad woman. She stands in front of all of you, a living tree, and looks through you almost, like gazing at the horizon more than she's gazing at you, but sees all of you and welcomes you. Arms open. Hello. To what do we owe the
Hi.
pleasure?
Hello.
Greetings.
I kind of bow my head politely, I think.
No
Goes
need for
back there.
formality here. Thank you.
Frogs.
You do not need to bow to me. I bow to the wind and nothing else. Nor should you. This is it's like a sort of got the colouring of an oak, but like the slender trunk of a birch has like a small nest in what you might call her hair, but is actually like a bunch of twigs, with a very small like songbird that keeps flying in and out. It's probably got eggs in there or something. She's got like these like flowers that either have been placed in her hair or have already grown from the branches there as like mistletoe kind of thing, you know, like a parasitic flower. But she seems to be, you know, doesn't seem like it's causing her any undue harm or irritation. She doesn't really have eyes so much as she has like the furrows of where eyes might be. And although she has a facial sort of appearance, it's really just the appearance of a head, that more than being the head itself. She sort of like speaks from somewhere, some level of resonance that you don't really pick up on where it's coming from, but you hear it nonetheless, and it is audible, not psychic. But she's able to communicate communicate with you well. She seems like while she stands, she allows her roots to very slowly seep into the earth that she stood on, just to sort of get her grounding. And her arms are just straight up, you know, tree branches. There's very little in the way of it looking like hands and muscles and tendons and stuff. She's more of nature than she is of humanoid. But she certainly looks upon you with like a level of age that you would expect from a tree person. And yeah, this dryad regards all of you, and you think you kind of half expect this to be Trolloc. because of all the people here that you've seen so far, this is certainly the one who acts with the same sort of reverence of other people than anyone you've met before. And she regards all of you, seems to speak to you kindly, and says, what business have you here?
Frogs. By any chance, do you know why the frog thought he was a baker?
Which frog?
The one that was hanging out with Tom.
Tom has many frog friends.
So do I.
You do, don't you?
I love frogs.
May I see the frog on your head?
That's Ferdinand. He's my friend.
She very slowly, but very gracefully, walks over to you. It's hard to see whether she's even walking in strides or whether she just sort of makes the branches, the trunk and the branches appear to be walking, just to give you like a level of comfort that you see her as humanoid when she is just a tree that's allowing its roots to move through the soil, you know? And as she gets closer to you, she sees Ferdinand, and she doesn't reach for him so much as she just lets one of her arms rest as a branch and gives what you assume is a smile. Do you think that you allow Ferdinand to hop on?
Sure. If he trusts it, I'll let him.
Ferdinand hops onto the branch. She doesn't move. She doesn't do anything. She just sort of allows the frog to move up and down on her branches. And at a certain point, it hops back over onto you.
Hey, buddy.
After maybe a month, a minute or two. A month? Jesus Christ. After a minute or two. It's a long conversation. It's a fucking tree beard conversation. No, so after about a minute or two, just hops back onto you, and then she starts to move around a bit more. I slowed down to allow the frog to see me as a tree, not a creature. Still, he said he wanted to check my vent, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, he likes buttholes.
Is this
He's
a
a
new
funny little
thing?
frog. Not sure. He checked the baker frog's butthole. He said he had a vent.
Baker frog?
The frog
Yeah,
who
the
thought he
frog-
was a baker. Or
The one
said he
that
was a
Tom-
baker at one point.
I think I understand what you mean.
That's nice, I don't.
I think perhaps we should talk.
That would be nice. We came here to talk to you.
Let's find somewhere to sit.
Sure. The ground is nice.
I like the ground.
Me too.
Do you mind if I stand on the wet ground?
I don't mind.
She sort of...
Won't your roots get wet?
She passes through the party and heads over to here to sort of stand on the bank of the river, like the brook, and just sort of like lets her roots dig deep into the wet soil. You can see that it's just easier for it to pass into the wet soil than it is in the dry. And she now stands much more firm in her stance. She seems like she's not going to be knocked over that easily now. I think I understand, but what I don't get is how you all came here. What are you doing here?
We came to find the birds.
Birds? And she points at the songbird in her hair.
No, not that kind of bird. These kinds. These guys here. We had to return some.
They
of
like
some,
caw. They
some
like
of their
croak.
stuff.
Like the ravens croak. I don't know if it'll pick up on the mic, but they're like.
Nope, sure didn't.
Yeah, there you go. That's Discord for you being a cook. So yeah, I think it would pick up on OBS. I don't think it would pick up on Discord. Anyway, so yeah, the two ravens just sort of like caw in her direction, and she's sort of at this point she says, "I do not bow to any but the wind, but for you I give respect nonetheless." Speaking to the two ravens. She says, "The frog is a chef, you say?"
A baker. He
Or
said he
was
made
it?
bread. And he liked
Baker.
bread.
No, he didn't. I don't think he likes the bread, or at least he doesn't
Makes
now.
Food. I understand. Well, there is an imbalance in nature here. Creatures don't stay as creatures. They change.
Do people change?
People, I didn't focus on in the early days. You see, this
So
like
you're
slow, deliberate speech is just the part of her speaking pattern. She like is doing everything in slow motion, basically.
so you're the reason they change?
The opposite. This
You're the reason they
village.
changed back?
This village is safe from magic. Nature magic is more powerful. Nature is everywhere. I am a part of the nature here. So the inhabitants are safe, including the wildlife. None of them change because of me.
So
You stopped the stones.
The stones tried to penetrate the ground. They did not succeed. Eventually, the power drained from the stones. And
do you know who
nature
put the
returned.
stones there?
I am sorry. I did not pay attention to people until after it all happened. I never got to see who did this. I only know that others have called them the fairy godmother, but I have never met this fairy, and this magic does not feel fey to me.
Do you know by chance where they would be at?
I would find where most of the crystals are, and they will surely be at the center.
That makes a lot of sense.
Something which may help you. I noticed in the early days when the crystals were still powered that they became most weak at night.
Are they what makes the people here attack? If they're interfered with?
In my experiences, all people have the capacity for good and for violence. Many of my family fell to people. This is why I don't trust them as much as I could.
I understand.
I understand. My home was getting destroyed.
Was your home natural?
Yes.
What was destroyed?
They were cutting down the trees.
You see, like a moment later, you see like a little rivulet of sap come out of where you would expect her eyes to be. Like she's like a single tear just falls.
Oh no.
That's what started me on this journey and how I ended up here.
I speak for nature when I say I. It truly is not accurate to describe me as an individual. I am a part of the natural world, and the natural order of things is that I will live and I will die, and my body will feed the next generation. I am all in that way. People do not see things like that. They keep what they have and pass it on when they die. This is selfish in our opinion. We seek to feed all in our own way, in our lives, or in our deaths. My time is coming soon. I feel it in the dry roots I walk with. My power is not strong enough to fix all of this island, but you would do well to find means of escape or means of ending this magic.
Do you have any friends left that are like you?
There is one other in our small commune. She tends the flowers, but does not speak as I do.
Were you before the gods? The beings that call themselves the gods? Were you here when the fire fellow was here? Before?
Nature has been always present. I am just one facet of nature. I was not here as an individual, but the circle of life has always and will always be.
How were these rocks cut off again from the magic?
They tried to penetrate through the soil. But me and mine would not allow it. We repelled them for long enough that their power drained, and they could no longer do any harm. Perhaps if you were to separate the crystals from the earth, then you might break the spell. But how you would break this connection, I am not sure.
Do you know how deep they go into the soil?
I only know that they grew downwards, up to when we felt them. Then we stopped their growth.
Could you tell us how far that was?
Not very.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm guessing it's not just this island that's got the balance of nature's disrupted. Am I correct?
Nature is imbalanced everywhere. Ask your friend. And she gestures over to Ash.
I mean, it's true. Nature will always be in balance until something comes and threatens that balance.
No, but it's
but
out of balance.
Well, nature will always find a way to restore balance.
At this point, Trolloc sort of reaches over for Briar, and you don't really necessarily see eyes, but you can see that she's trying to, like, point whatever, this head shape at the top of her branches is in your direction, like she's trying to sort of affect an eye contact with you. And she says, I sense a deep connection with nature in you.
Yeah, I'm a cleric, but I also am very in tune with nature, and natural medicines is what I've tried to specialize in, and you're correct there.
I sense imbalance in you also, though.
Yeah.
The vine, which tethers your soul to nature, feels untended to.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sore subject, but I feel like I've lost touch with the goddess that I worship and feel a little forsaken. But
I think
trying to reconnect.
I think you might be seeing this upside down. You focus on the branches and the fruit, when you should be focusing on the root. The gods did not come before the world. The gods were made from it. The goddess of nature is nature expressing itself. To just worship one facet would be to ignore all of nature's majesty and complexity. Perhaps try to reach beyond the goddess and find a connection to the soil. You may be surprised what you find if you
need help with learning to connect. I have deep roots.
Well, thank you. I'll try my best.
What word do they give you?
What word?
Your name.
Oh, Briar. I'm Briar.
Briar. A briar is very effective. A briar protects, but can cause harm. Just the same. You, Briar, I will bow to. And she bends forward and gives you the perfume, the like smell, the aroma, this natural scent that comes from her branches, her twigs, her fruits, everything in her upper branches. And then she slowly rights herself up again. And you hear the creak of her wood as she does. Briar, I will be able to communicate with you through the roots of the earth. The further you move from here, the harder it will be to do that. But I will always be there so long as I am still living. My end comes soon, and I feel I must help you before I join my ancestors. If you would allow me to commune with you, I can help your natural meditation as you progress.
I accept. I accept their offer to help me commune.
As you say that you accept, you see that some of the buds that have not flowered yet in her branches now expand out and become yellows and golds and pinks and reds and just all different colours of nature just like sprouting out from these buds. I will help where I can. Thank you, Briar.
I'm just gonna sort of mirror the same bow that they gave me.
She stops you as you go to bow. You, Briar, you bow to no person nor tree.
Okay.
The rest of you, you are welcome here in this hamlet of ours. We will give you what we can. I must stay and water my roots. I sense I have some important days ahead. And she gives what looks like a wink to Briar, surreptitiously. I will give you whatever information I have, but I fear I have told you almost everything now. What you do from here is your choice. I encourage you to save the wild creatures and the land also. At this point, whatever facial features and whatever like arms that she looked like she had form now into what looked like a full tree, and she just looks like she turns into a tree at this point. Her roots go thick and woody. They grow into the soil. Her branches grow stiff, although they still blow in the wind. Her face, as it looked, is no longer a face and is now more like cracks in the bark. And the bird that was nesting in her branches just goes about its business as if nothing had happened. But the flowers continue. And you can hear Briar. You can hear in your mind at this point. Or is it your heart? Who's to say? She speaks to you and says, "Do not worry. My earthly form will wither, but I will be here when you need me."
Thank you.
And I think that's where we're going to end the session.
No!
We're 15 minutes over, my friend.
I don't care.
But I need Isabel to help me pull on a rock.
I never said I would.
That's going to wait until
I
next
know,
time
I
then.
gotta ask you.
You can pull on a rock all you like next time. But we have met Ferdinand, who is a slow Irishman who likes to check people's vents. We have...
Look, we don't want to know about that.
Check your butt.
We've met a tiny cat who Ruby has taken a shining to. Maybe we'll find more in that next time.
That is such a tiny cat.
It is such a tiny cat, right? It is such a tiny
Really
cat.
How tiny that is.
I don't know if you also picked up on this, the Cryptic Critters crew, but I did also have an elk that the kobold was hooving down at the bottom. Just as a little Easter egg to the elk shenanigans that we had. And yeah, you've met Trelawney, who seems like Trelawney is sort of turning back into a tree and is ready to meet the earth once more, but is helping Briar out with the loss of connection to the natural world. Maybe a little bit more insight into how the gods came to be as well, but you know, as far back as that goes, who's to say they've got the true history of it? All that is to say is at this point you've got more information to be getting on with and to figure out what to do with. But she's given you some insight, and maybe you've figured out one of the elements of what's going wrong here. That maybe there is something happening to animals, and maybe there's a reason why you can't see any of them. Because this frog seemed like he was pretty certain that he was a baker at one point.
I mean, who are we to say that he wasn't?
Who are we to say that? Exactly. So yeah, that's where we're going to end this. Thank you everybody for being here. That was amazeballs. I am very happy to have brought this experience back to you all. Although it took many spoons, I am glad that I am back at this point, and it will just be the usual additions now. I don't have to rework everything from the fucking ground up. But yeah, thank you everybody. Thanks everyone in Ash's chat, Tats's chat. You're all the characters to me now. You're not real people anymore. You're just Isabel, Aldrin,
I am
Ash.
not a real person. I am just a
I
bird.
never have
You're a
been.
bird, yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm a dragon.
That is true. That is true. You are a fictional person that can make real soup.
So I'm just an old confused man.
You're an old confused man. Yeah.
Oh shit, Odin.
That's all relatable,
Meow.
weirdly.
Yeah.
And I'm still a human.
Ruby's a cat that does backflips.
Ruby is a cat that does backflips and also befriends other smaller cats.
I'm sorry, but we're just human.
I am a cat who does backflips
Oh,
who touches
man.
other smaller cats.
I don't nearly have enough frogs.
I'm getting a really weird look now. I've said that out loud to my other half. And it's like, yeah, that's about fucking right.
Yeah, don't give any context to that, by the way. Don't give any context.
I'm not providing any context.
I don't want him knowing exactly what the fuck that meant, because that would be
At least
hilarious.
you missed all the butthole stuff.
Oh yeah. You
you
should definitely say that you should go and check someone's butthole.
Oh,
check
no.
your boots.
No, sorry, you don't know. He heard that, and then you mentioned the butthole. You don't know what. You don't want to know what he did. So I'm just gonna leave that there.
Okay.
Did
Go
he
away.
moon you?
No,
Think
no.
about an
Dude,
instant,
I'm gonna
instant
mute myself.
visual.
I think our minds all went to the same place. Did your
Yeah.
boyfriend just moon you? But yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
fair enough.
No,
Oh,
he
me.
didn't moon
No, I
me.
didn't get that.
I'll at
No.
least give him. I'll give him that credit. He didn't moon me.
Okay,
And now
fair
you
enough.
just put the idea in his head, though.
Right, yeah, well, there we go. What a note to end the stream on. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love you all.
Thank
It's
you
been
all.
great being back.
you.
It's been great being your
Bye.
DM again. Remember
Thank you.
to...
We've missed you.
I have missed
Miss
all
you
of you.
guys.
It's so good to have you back, and I am
Hell yeah.
excited for next session. But I'm also excited for more interactions with Ferdinand. That was my favourite part. Fucking
Hell yeah.
confused Irish frog. That's the
I
best.
love my frog. How am I gonna learn how to talk to my frog? That is my next mission.
He
There's
needs
a
to become
spell called,
an
can you,
awakened frog. You basically need to get a wizard to awaken him. That's what you need to do.
Alright, I gotta find a wizard.
I'll
You
awaken
happen
your
to
wizard.
have-
I don't know what that means.
You happen to have a level 10 wizard in your party. Anyway, moving
Yeah, I
on.
was just about to say.
Let's end the stream here. Thank
Hell
you
yeah.
all for being here. Thanks for being awesome. I love you all. It's
Love you, Jackal.
time to say goodbye now. Please be good to yourselves, and if you can't do that, then at least have fun. Goodbye, everybody. Love you.
Bye.